Thank you, Professor Dr. Tana. Thank you very much indeed to you, your faculty colleagues, and the leadership team of your university for giving me an opportunity to speak on my passion area, on my area of thinking, which I'm pursuing these days, is blockchain technology. The theme of my presentation would be the powerhouse of Industry 4.0. I am by training and by practice a finance person, but ICT, that is information and communication technology, is always an area of my passion. And I have worked on this area right from the beginning of my career, because computerization was one of my responsibilities in most of the responsibilities which I have discharged during the course of my 34 years stay in corporate world. So based on whatever my personal thinking and whatever my learning points and whatever my research work so far and whatever I've written so far, I'm going to present this presentation for about 65 to 70 minutes. Followed by that, I'll take your questions, and if possible, we'll have further interactive reactions. So I'll go forward. I will acknowledge a lot of graphics which I'll be using in my presentation. Most of those are not my own graphics. And I acknowledge the contribution of those who have helped me to prepare this presentation by allowing their graphics to be used. I will have a 7-point agenda to talk about. One is the emerging world environment and blockchain technology, fundamentals of blockchain, smart contracts for blockchain platforms, certain applications for digital transformation, adoption challenges and governance, blockchain technology and the worldview, human and ethical dimensions of digital technology. So down below this slide, what you are seeing is one of the codifications which have been done, or logic which have been prepared by certain summer interns of our university for one of my blockchain ideation, that is farmer blockchain platform, which I call it Kishan Blockchain Platform, which is in India, a Kishan is a farmer. So I'll begin my presentation with a simple introduction in terms of my work. I've written not less than 30 papers on digital transformation. So these are some of the papers. Down below, you see my YouTube personal channel, where I would like to host this particular presentation. The middle one is my presentation and the keynote speech in Moscow World Blockchain Summit. And down right is the another presentation, which was a presentation to the Chartered Accountants of India on blockchain technology. So let us start the core presentation part. There are certain predictive research scholars who have predicted 9 points how the world would going to transform. The first one is the demographics. Will be more than 1 billion people, adding to our existing population of 8.5 billion, 7.5 billion, and will reach to 8.5 billion. 2/3 of the population will reside in urban areas. It does mean we'll be encroaching further into nature and disturb the nature's ecosystem. World will be more and more transparent. There will be world policy, world code of standard for anything and everything which you do in digital space, particularly. There will be climate crisis, and your country has already experienced that crisis because of that flood which you have experienced very recently. 49 degrees Celsius in Canada, or fire burning in Australia and western part of US. These are some of the crises which are going to increase. Next is resource pressure. The most important pressure would be on the two hitherto freely available resources, that is water and air, breathable air and potable water. Clean tech technology would be the call of the day, that is zero carbon technology. And towards that, a lot of efforts are being made by countries of the world. The technology shift will predictably bring every one of us under the direct influence of 25 IoTs. 5 of them will be you will be using directly, like your smartphone. Certain IoTs you will be using at your residence, which you're already using, and other 20 IoTs will be influenced into your system during your day-to-day life. There will be global policy for anything and everything which you are talking about. People will be questioning those policies, and nobody will be able to conquer over anybody else's theories and practices. So ultimately, consensus should emerge over the world. Nationalism and radicalism, whether we want or not want, these are predicted to increase. 2 more things I've added. One is pandemics, which all of us are experiencing, I need not explain, and the World War III, which may be fought in cyberspace. NATO countries have recently recognized cyber attacks as one of the potential threats for its member countries. You might have observed that against some of the points I have given star marks, 2 points down below I have given question marks, and 2 points for which theories are emerging, that is pandemics and world war. Digital technologies will be able to solve problems, mitigate risk, and reduce the sufferings of humankind by finding out solutions using digital transformation technologies, including blockchain. That is my strong belief, and that there are lots and lots of things happening all around the world, which my research says that first 7 problems can be solved due to digital technologies being adopted and applied. So, what are these digital technologies? I don't want to explain this much, but just to tell you, any digital technology or computer technology which you have can be divided into 2 groups. The first group is transformational group, and the second group is business impact group in terms of high financial impact, medium financial impact, and low financial impact. Till 2016-17, items like smart machines, advanced robotics, brain-computer interface, 3D printing, these were some of the things which are talked about to be transformational technology. But blockchain has already shifted to transformational technologies since then. And I can draw one more quadrant between transformational technology, and this quadrant will be called as foundational technology. So digital technology that is blockchain technology, has moved from business impacting to transformational to something called foundational technology, which can change the foundation of our economy, the foundation of our state's ecosystem and societal ecosystem. That's what is the digital transformation with blockchain. One of the important points I would like to draw your attention is IT jurisprudence, because in Europe you have GDPR, and most of the digital technologies or information technology which are taught in the world, people are not taught the legal part of digital transformation. So my call to the world of education and academics would be that whenever you teach digital technology or IT technology, please also teach the students IT jurisprudence and the laws on cyber area, that is cyber laws. Any one of you can interact me by asking a short question, or you can put your question onto the chat box, and someone at the end of my presentation can keep on asking me those questions one by one. Perhaps that would be an efficient way of handling our time. Now, one of the most important criteria of digital transformation is to satisfy these 7 elements: data aggregation, data management, workflow automation, process component, platform interface integration, end-to-end processing, and front-end software. Blockchain technology satisfied all these 7, and use of results from algorithmic applications like artificial intelligence and machine learning can be brought back to blockchain technology for creating transformational processes, for improving the performance of blockchain technology, taking better decision in terms of transaction management, so on and so forth. So blockchain technology essentially satisfies all these 7 criteria for successful digital transformation. That's the claim which are being made, and I think that is possible. Look at this slide. As of now, there are essentially 8 deep technologies, starting with blockchain. Then you have drones, you have Internet of Things, you have robots, 3D printing, virtual reality, as augmented reality, and artificial intelligence. There are combination and permutations of this technology, like IoTs can be artificially intelligent. There is Internet of Body, which is a biodegradable within your stomach. This IoT can get diluted and absorbed by your system, because if I can insert an IoT in your body, then CT scan, which takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour today, for your stomach to be CT scanned, it can be done in 15 minutes. That's the kind of technology coming on. You will observe that against some of the technologies, I have given blue ticks, blue star marks. Now, these technologies can be simultaneously applied along with other technologies. And the technologies which I have given a black star, those technologies can have the support of edge computing. I have ideated so far 3 blockchain platforms, one for agriculture, which can be used for animal husbandry, beekeeping, and also for orchard management, as well as healthcare support, healthcare service delivery, and finally crowdfunding. All these 3 technologies, or all these 3 performance areas, not only can be delivered by blockchain technologies, but also can have the benefit of integrating items like drones, Internet of Things, robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, and even augmented reality and virtual reality. So I will introduce 2 such applications today. At the very beginning of the applications areas of blockchain technology, let me request all my colleagues and here present in this virtual meeting room to at least convince yourself that blockchain technology is not equal to cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency is not blockchain technology. Cryptocurrency is one of the objectives, or the very first objective, for which blockchain technology was used by either a gentleman called Satoshi Nakamoto or a group of people who are named as Satoshi Nakamoto. There are a lot of doubts about it. I don't want to get into that, but let me tell you, blockchain technology is not equal to cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is also known as distributed ledger technology. I'll come back to it further. Excuse me for a minute. So let me tell you and caution you about one more point, that users are not magically protected as technology evolves. Rather, user protection is something that occurs as a result of intention, commitment, and deliberate design. So it does mean that whenever we think of a higher technology, our idea that it automatically protects its user. The answer is no, it does not. It does not protect the customers or your users. The protection comes from your design and the very fundamentals of the technology. And blockchain is the single technology so far which can ensure the highest degree of privacy, safety, and security, not only of the data, but also of the user, because of its dual key operation. I would like to mix the Western world and the Eastern world in this slide. The Bhagavad Gita, Indian mythology, says, and I quote, "We are born into the world of nature. Our second birth is into the world of spirit. But he who with strong body, serving mind, gives up the power to work the work." That means you can't work with a strong body. You can't serve your mind with a strong body. What you need the power of mind and spirit that will determine your success. So power of mind will be the most important factor for success in digital solution designing, which will be a thinking out of the box. And that's what Albert Einstein also said. He said, the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. And another famous gentleman said, he is not the illiterate person of this century who doesn't know how to read and write. The illiterate person is that person who doesn't have the habit of learning, unlearning, and relearning. So blockchain technology, or for that matter, any digital technology, is evolving every day, and we have to continuously relearn the technological aspects of digital era. Now I'll come to the fundamentals of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology falls into the mesh category of digital technology, and I'll not go into the left-hand side discussion anymore. Originally, in 1960s or 50s, when computer technology came, it was having, if these are individuals' computers, it was having one single connection. That means it was a centralized data management and data storage system. Then came the development of decentralized technology, where there was kind of a hub and spoke model. These nodes are not connected with the central nodes. The one subcentral node is connected with the main central node. One subcentral node is connected with the central node. And there is blockchain technology now, where all the nodes are connected with all the nodes. This picture of all the nodes being connected with the central node can be understood better here. You can see the arrows. Here there are only 5 computer nodes, and each node is connected with the all nodes. Now multiply this 5 by 1000. If there are 5,000 nodes, each computer will be connected with each other computer. That is 4,999 computers again. So that is the way blockchain technology works, where every single node is a store manager of all transaction and all data. All of you can say that you will be guzzling a lot of power, and it will not be a green technology. I'll come back to this point very soon. Just excuse me for a minute. I'll just come back to this. For that, I will request you to just look at this picture. Give me 1 second, I'll come back. This is the typical design. This is the typical design of a blockchain transaction when you operate a cryptocurrency in blockchain. What happens if someone wants to buy some Bitcoin or some Ethereum coin or some other coin? He logs into the system, which is publicly available, and he goes and announces the transaction that I want to buy Bitcoin. Or if suppose X wants to send Y Bitcoins to Y, a quantum of Bitcoins, suppose 5 Bitcoins, X wants to send to Y through this blockchain system. X announces that I want this to go to Y. So once this transaction is announced, then there are miners in the system. Miners are the approvers of transaction. They will first check whether X in his account has got sufficient Bitcoin, because Bitcoins cannot be created by anybody. And there are 23 million Bitcoins, most probably, if my number is not wrong. It can't be increased anymore. That's why the price of Bitcoin increases because of demand and supply situations. So the miners approves. Originally, it used to be 100% miner has to approve. Then it was a 50% miners have to be approved, have to approve the transaction. Now it is less than 50%. And any Bitcoin transaction approval takes about 10 minutes of computing to allow the transaction to go. Once the transaction is allowed to go, the transaction becomes an approved transaction and it takes place and it goes and sits as a block into the system. So this is a typical cryptocurrency transaction management system where somebody announced the transaction, he wants to make a transaction. In the earlier case, if A wants to buy some Bitcoin, he announces the transaction and there will be seller of the Bitcoin. Some sellers will say, okay, I want to sell. Then the miner will say that, okay, this guy has a sufficient Bitcoin to sell to A. And then whosoever's transaction is first approved, he will sell the transaction and the transaction will take place by B. And B, once the transaction is approved and executed, it goes and settles as a block. The benefit is transparency. The benefit is no transaction can be changed, because if suppose continuously transactions are taking place, and if you want to change any transaction which has happened previously, you can't do it. Now I'll explain to this point again once through another picture. Now this is the core of blockchain technology. What happens in a blockchain technology? Blockchain technology originally started with a peer-to-peer technology. Now it has become it can be extended to enterprise technology. Now peer-to-peer technology means everybody can correspond and talk to any other person, because each computer node or each participant is connected with the another participant. Okay, so typically it is called a distributed ledger technology. It has got dual key mechanism. When you enter the system, you are entering with a personal private key or a personal key, and when you do any transaction, the others know you through your public key. That you are not known by your name, your phone number, your mail ID. You are known by a big hashtag number or a hashtag expansion, which the other person doesn't know. But the other person is assured of one thing, that you are an authorized person to enter this blockchain platform. It is cryptographically enabled distributed data storage management system. It does mean that every transaction is encrypted by very complex algorithms, where transactions are not allowed to store in normal computerized position in binaries. It is an encrypted storage. And in some of the technologies, this encryption algorithm changes every 10-15 minutes. So same algorithm, if it is applied, then perhaps hackers would be able to hit that algorithm if they at all can. But if it is dynamic, then it is entirely difficult to do it. Blockchain technology doesn't need any central supervision. As you saw, here is a central supervision, here is central supervision. But in this entire blockchain node, there is no centralized supervision system. Once the platform is allowed to be performed, it performs on its own. It is cryptographically enabled. It functions like this. Suppose this is the starting point, or the first transaction will be made. So if there is a pointer. When you make the transaction, you goes with your holder's name, first transaction with your holder's name. And then there is a pointer. And this is the transaction data, and this is the guy to whom this transaction is thrown up to. Then this transaction, the guy does it. And again, this is the guy who has done that transaction to whom you have thrown it. And then this is his public key. And this is the way it operates. It goes and operates. So this is called Merkle root. It is a highly technical item. I don't want to get into that, neither I understand much, because this is the black box area where the coding of the blockchain technology is done. How it operates, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that when it goes from one party to the other party, it just goes with the other party's public key and other party's name, anything which you can identify the person. It is not possible because it is a key. It is a computerized key which is encrypted also. So this is what I was telling. Suppose this guy wants to do some fraud. He does it, he wants to do some change in this transaction. So when he thinks of changing this transaction, he has to change all subsequent transaction to it. That means he has to change these, all these transactions he has to change. By the time he does, effectively, these other transaction must have taken place. So continuously he will be chasing, but he will not be able to change this transaction. It does mean that changing any transaction in blockchain technology is absolutely not possible. Absolutely not possible. So that's why it says that blockchain technology is immutable. It cannot be changed. It's just not possible. Moreover, each transaction, if you have to change one transaction, how many nodes you will hack? That computer has not been created by human being, even perhaps not God, which can change in which can simultaneously hack more than 50, 100, 200 computers nodes which are storing the same transactional data in every node, because this guy has to change every node's transaction data. So this is not possible. This is a very safe, very transparent, yet very secured blockchain platform. So in this world, when you do digital transformation, you have to have internet of people. People have to participate in the internet. People have to participate with their ideas, that is solution providers, transaction makers. The data will be in the system, internet of data. Then there will be IoTs, internet of things. It could be possible that you don't have to order any food items to be supplied to you by any supply integrator. Your refrigerator will be having smart cameras and smart IoTs, which will prompt a list to your software, or either to your smartphone or directly to your supplier of food articles. The fridge has checked what was your initial storage, how much you have consumed, how much you have consumed in how many days, how much your average consumption. Depending upon that, the refrigerator will compile a list and order your chicken, mutton, or vegetable requirements. So so what you need is to adopt the technology, which we call Internet of Behavior. I have written a paper on this Internet of Behavior, which I called it Smart Dust and Digital Dust. That paper is already available in the cyberplace. So what you need for doing a transaction, you need trust, you need shared value proposition. That means whatever value you create, it will be shared amongst all participants. You need a value experience that the existing technology is inferior than the newly developed technology using blockchain, that you have to establish. It has to be ease of application. People should find it like any other software. People should find it to apply, and it should be sustainable. If these are the 5 features are there, then you can do business management, you can do customer management, you can do product management, you can ensure teamwork, promotion, you can develop business, you can achieve budget targets, and you can conduct analysis. The cutting through point of all these essential inputs for a business or essential requirements of success of a business is strategy. So blockchain technology not only helps you to achieve all this with transparency, security, safety, but also helps you to develop strategy, because blockchain technology storage data can be utilized with certain advanced programming for bringing the data into AI system and analyzing it. When you analyze, you can definitely create your next strategy, business strategy. But let me hasten to add that taking out data from blockchain storage system by an AI and an ML system needs an interoperability of these two, or interoperability of these two technologies. That means these two technologies have to talk to each other and operate. So those solutions are being developed where data will go to an artificial intelligence processing system, and this inference will be shared with the administrator or with the participants if they want to take that data for the purpose of drawing their analysis, or else they can take out data from their own node, because every node will be having a wallet where his own transactions will be stored for the purpose of taking his own transaction to his ERP system, say SAP or say Oracle Financial. And from there, you can take to your system and do the analysis. Such analysis will give you help for drawing inferences for conducting other transactions in subsequent time. This is the Capgemini's analysis done in 2018. 447 people participated from the world. They have done a conclusion that 2011 to 2018 was a period of awareness on blockchain technology. 2017 to 20 was the period of experimentation. Experimentation is almost over. Of course, I claim that experimentation is not over. Subsequent, in one slide, you will find the world-renowned blockchain adoption guy or a digital transformation guy called, I'm forgetting his name, Antonio Grasso is his name. He has not in his use case included what I'm talking about is agricultural blockchain. And next is 2019 to 25. This is the period in which we are, and we have to find much or many more application of blockchain technology. Now, what is the driver? What is the motivation behind adopting blockchain technology? These 447 business executives were asked this question, and this was the answer. 80% of people said that blockchain gives you cost saving. 81% of these people says blockchain give you traceability. You can trace your product, your raw material, your finished goods until the end consumer consumes it up. Answer is more than 100 because everyone has adopted for more than one item. Transparency, 79% people say transparency is 79%. But I personally feel this score will definitely go to 99% because as and when people understands and does more work with blockchain technology, this score will go up. Revenue enhancement, 57% executives are convinced. Risk reduction, 50% people are out of this 447 is convinced blockchain reduces risk. Create new business, yes, 447 people, 44% of 447 accepts that it is creating business. On this, I have another data from Deloitte I'll share with you soon. And customer centric, that is CRM management, again, blockchain technology helps you for 38% people believe that blockchain will help. So you can see from cost saving, traceability, transparency, revenue, risk reduction, creating new business, customer-centric decisions. So what more you want from a digital technology to ensure risk-enabled, or I repeat, risk-enabled performance management? Or I'm not doing enterprise risk management. I'm not a proactive risk manager. I'm not a reactive risk manager. By blockchain platform, I'll be a reactive, I'll erase my reactive risk manager's name and I'll name myself as a proactive risk manager. I will be able to anticipate what are the risks going forward in my business and ask the blockchain solution provider to enable the system in such a manner those risks are taken care of. So finally, if I sum up, what are the benefits of blockchain technology? These are, it's an internet-based platform with a P2P and E2E network. It is embedded, it has got an embedded smart contract because no business should work without a contract, underlying contract, because anytime and every time we can be dragged to the court. So we have to ensure total compliance of regulations and laws. So it does that. It has a decentralized storage system. It is transparency with pseudonymity. You are a participant, but nobody knows who are you because you are known by your public key. So it is pseudonymous. No need of any central authority because everybody is an authority in the system. Because the guy who administers the blockchain platform, his job is to maintain the system. he cannot control or do any bossing over your transaction. Don't need of central authority. Everything is cryptographed with complex algorithm. Every transaction is authenticated by one or more nodes. In an Ethereum transaction or a Bitcoin transaction, there is a concept of miner. But when you are doing blockchain-based technology solutions for say logistics management, or for say import-export trade, or say Kishan Blockchain Platform, or say healthcare delivery, the approval of the smart contract will have to be done by the concerned party, and not everybody need to be understood. Everybody need not to participate. Suppose you have appointed, I am importing a machine from Germany, and I have designated Bureau Veritas about as my quality controller. So what this particular contract of quality certification will be between Bureau Veritas, my German machine builder, and the importer in India. No bank should come into the picture, although bank is an essential participant in an exit system. But Bitcoin is not that. Bitcoin is only one transaction, that is buying or selling. And in that case, there has to be many miners. So every transaction is thus authenticated. An authenticated transaction data is pulled into the chain of blocks. So it makes it immutable. And each block is encrypted with cryptographed hash functions, which can be changed by another dynamic cryptographical encryption system. Programmed with algorithm, the blockchain itself is programmed with algorithmic rules. All transactions and documents, whenever you do any business transaction or a social entrepreneurial organization's transaction, you definitely would take resort to documents. And you definitely like to keep that document in your storage system, like that approval certificate of Bureau Veritas. So blockchain provides you document library, and anything stored in the document library will be having that transaction hashtag and the public key of the parties who will be able to retrieve that document if necessary on a need to know basis. I repeat the word need to know basis, not anybody and everybody will be able to draw that. Suppose Bureau Veritas, I am not satisfied with the quality of the product, and it is Bureau Veritas who has certified. I can develop a transactional discussion with Bureau Veritas. For that, I have to take resort to that document which Bureau Veritas has issued to me as a certification system. God forbid that should not happen in any case. And distributed distributed data storage management system makes it unattackable. So these 12 qualities of blockchain technology is an excellent provider of comfort to you as an user of blockchain technology. Time permitting, I would have explained every single one with an explanation or an example, but sorry, I will not be able to do it in such a short time. Now, what is a smart contract? Anything you do in the commercial world, anything you do in when you submit, when you provide government services, even a birth certificate to be issued by a municipal corporation to a baby's parents, those can be done through blockchain technology. In fact, in India, this has already been tested, that is whether it can be done. So anything and everything you do in this world has to be done under a structured system of laws, regulations. Again, if the transacting parties are from more than one sovereign boundaries, then the laws of both the countries have to be definitely complied with. The beauty of smart contract is that those are all pre-understood and those are all embedded in the system. Those are all embedded in the system. So what is a smart contract? A smart contract is a contract where the road meets the rubber or rubber meets the road, whatever you call it, for the purpose of business and blockchain. So smart contract is the governor of blockchain technology. For every single transaction, the smart contract is embedded in a digital framework in coded form, which is a legally binding contract. and terms and conditions and legal provisions which are to be complied with are already embedded in the codification or the code written for transactions to be done. As I showed you at the beginning of, there was a code series of code. Those codes are legally complied with codes. So these are embedded in the contract and with laws and regulation. Suppose there is a law change. The smart contract guy, who is the administrator of the smart contract, he will be automatically changing the smart contract conditions to ensure the legal terms and conditions. Suppose party A and party B, they found that some of the conditions they do not accept. They want to change it. So through a transactional process, A can propose that I want this amendment in this particular condition to B. B says, okay, show me the draft. All these things are happening in blockchain. A gives the draft, B approves. So it goes and sits as an embedded condition in the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology has been so nicely coded that this changed condition can be also taken. Now, these change conditions are nothing but options which are pre-decided in the blockchain technology. You can say as a student of commerce that, or management, that no transaction is equal to other transaction. If there is something unique, then that same has to be referred to the administrator for blockchain technology, administrator for changing the embedded contract. Of course, the options are so exhaustive that you will be definitely following or changing the smart contract, adopting one of these options. So what is a smart contract? It's self-reliant, it is trustworthy, it is self-documented, it is self-preserved, safely preserved, backed up by evidences, quickly authorized, cost saved. For anything and everything, you don't have to run to a lawyer and an attorney to see whether my contract is okay for all respects, because the contract is premeditated contract and in compliance with all laws. The contract itself has ensured that, because it is drafted by best of the lawyers of the world, and it doesn't need any physical lawyer, and it's regulation compliant. Thus, it is fast, quality oriented, reduces cost. There is very minimum scope of conflict and ambiguity, and cross-border transactions also can be taken care of. So essentially, a smart contract, for any contract to go through the legal scrutiny, has to satisfy these 9 conditions. According to Indian Contract Act, I do not know whether anything else extra is there in Germany or any other country that can be also embedded. Now, let me give you, as back as 2018-17 September, we came to know that the Supreme Court of China has accepted blockchain documents as legal evidences. And Stefano, there is a lady appointed by ACC who has said that blockchain technology is the future of the world, provided the smart contract is rightly drafted. During my interactions with the world level people in my international conferences, I have come to know that IBM, Microsoft, and many other blockchain platform service providers, Cognizant, etc., they are trying to develop smart contract libraries which will serve the purpose of the world. Now, one of the very important point, and this slide is very important for you, that every blockchain technology has to know whom they are admitting, particularly private blockchains, not public blockchains. Today, even Bitcoin, I believe, cryptocurrency platforms have also introduced the KYC system, know your customer. Actually, for public private blockchain, it is not KYC, it is KYP, know your participant. Now, if every blockchain has to have a KYP solution first, to start with, it is very expensive and it is very time consuming. So IBM has tried to develop one blockchain platform for completing the KYP for anything and everything. That means the veracity of a participant of any blockchain transaction and the criteria for allowing a participant in a blockchain transaction has been premeditated by IBM and embedded in their system for any commercial purposes. Now, suppose I am doing an Exim blockchain or healthcare blockchain or a Kishan blockchain. So what I can say that Mr. X is trying to join my system. Hey, IBM, is he KYP compliant in your system? If the person is KYP compliant with your system, the moment that guy enters into my system and wants to participate, a transaction gets triggered to IBM. IBM says, no, he is not. Then I say him, go to IBM and get your thing done and come back to me. If he is already, IBM says yes. If the IBM says yes, the Exim or blockchain automatically allows him to enter the system. For banking platform, this is a very huge requirement. And in India, 16 banks are participating and jointly developing for trade finance transaction, one common blockchain, and they are developing a common KYP. So these things are happening in India. I'm sure these things must be happening in your country also. Now, let's come to the interesting part, which is you people must be waiting for, applications of blockchain technology. This is my solution on Kishan Blockchain Platform. At the center of the platform is the Kisan, that is the farmer. At one end is the governor, that is the smart contract. At the other end, there is a customer. Who are the actors in this? The Kisan himself, the consulting agri-scientist, meteorologist, drone surveillance, whether the crops are growing properly or crops have been attacked by pest, insect or pest, quality control lab about the outputs, then the customers who are going to buy ultimately the harvest. Here is a banker who will be lending to customer by directly paying to the buying purchases which the farmer does of any equipment supplier or vendor of seeds and fertilizer and pesticides. This bank will disburse the money on behalf of the farmer directly to these people, and this disbursement will be considered as a loan to the farmer. And when this customer will come to this e-commerce platform, because the blockchain at the back end, at the last end of this blockchain platform, there will be an e-commerce platform where the farmer will express his interest to sell a certain harvest at a certain price, and the participant customers of the system will come and buy it. In between, there will be government agencies, soil scientists, etc. So when a farmer say that in this crop season, I want to sow wheat, as a consulting agri-scientist will say, please send your sample to such and such laboratory. So it will go to the soil scientist laboratory, and meteorologist will say that please don't sow seeds during this period because there will be heavy rain or something. So he will say how much quantity of irrigation you need because there will be shortage of natural rain during this period. So a drone surveillance system will say whether the standing crop is going properly or there is any yellowing down of their leaves, etc. So drone surveillance will already send data to the soil agricultural scientist. He will tell the farmer, okay, you use so-and-so pesticide and insecticides. The farmer will place order to the insecticide supplier. And of course, if he wants to buy a tractor, he can buy from this supplier. And this supply will go, farmer will sprinkle it. The sprinkling can be done by this drone also of insecticides and pesticides. Farmer wants to draw water, or farmer has taken a tractor on rent and payment is on the basis of number of days use. So here is the various IoT that will be given to the farming system. And these IoTs will constantly update the data on behalf of the farmer into the centralized processing system on the basis of the smart contract. So it's an integrated blockchain platform for the farmer. This can be used by coffee growers. This can be used by animal husbandry people, that is hatcheries or piggeries or cattle's, cows and fellows, anything, mangoes orchards, coffee orchard, anything. So I'm at the moment, I'm talking to some people in USA about this particular agricultural blockchain platform to be converted into a solution. I have developed a solution ideated a solution for healthcare. Because of shortage of time, I am not explaining it. This is the healthcare. Again, for this healthcare also, I need some collaborator with whom I can work for. This is the application list which Ant Grasso has, and I would request all of you, if you are interested in digital transformation, please follow him in Twitter. He is a very world famous digital transformer, and every day you will find 6 to 8 posts from his Twitter handle @Ant Grasso. He has said in one of his tweets that there are 8 areas where blockchain technology is being tried and tested, which are consumer, energy. In fact, power consumption can be controlled by blockchain. Financial institutions, healthcare, industrial goods, insurance, public sector, technology, media, even government service, even supply of COVID, supply of vaccines can be controlled by blockchain technology. These are some of the unique list of blockchain technology management. In fact, I have ideated a solution for gun and revolver management, which is a mess in US. Old age homes in Australia are being run through blockchain. That means if you want to go to an old age home after finishing your working life, you can book a room in that old age home even from today. Land mortgage, usage of underground water, even voting systems are being developed by blockchain technology. And these 19 different groups of commercial application, I don't want to quote. Let me quickly share with you. There are 3 types of blockchain. One is public blockchain and private blockchain. Public blockchains are peer-to-peer network. Private blockchains are generally for commercial purpose, enterprise to enterprise or P2P network. Private blockchains are being prepared and served by Google's, IBM's, etc. They are running it and people are participating. You can do your enterprise blockchain also. Within your company, you can run a blockchain. In India, one company called Konkan Railways, which takes you from Mumbai to Goa, they have developed an internal blockchain system for running their document management system. So blockchain system can be a public blockchain system, a private blockchain system, an enterprise blockchain system. In a public blockchain system like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, there of course is a miner who is a controller kind of guy. But in private blockchain system, there is no governor, there is no controller. This is blockchain as a service. People are creating blockchain ecosystem where you don't have to develop your own solution. You go there with your smart contract. They will help you to develop a blockchain system which you can run for doing your business. So blockchain is no longer lying in the domain of one party at all. Like cloud computing is a public data storage system. Similarly, blockchain as a service is coming as a cloud-based service. This is a very unique solution of this particular slide shows a very unique solution developed in Kenya for giving money to very small people who does sell in daily market their vegetable and food articles. It has been developed very interestingly like any other website. Its front end looks like a website as you use in our laptop or smartphone. But in between, instead of an API, there is a smart contract. And at the end, there is a blockchain. A lot of HNI people, high net worth people in Kenya, give money to small people through cryptocurrency. And this blockchain works with the cryptocurrency. These people gets converted equivalent fiat currency from banks or designated agencies based on this blockchain transaction. And they do their day-to-day business and return the money with interest or without interest. This runs without interest. So this is a very unique social entrepreneurial application of blockchain technology for solving problems of society for people. This is an international monetary fund. I have written a paper on central bank digital currency. which is there in my LinkedIn as a featured article. People have, we the blockchain evangelists, we are demanding an international code of standard like IFRS, International Financial Reporting System. IMF has started doing it. Bank of International Settlement has also created a code of standards. So they are collaborating. Soon we'll see almost all the countries of the world is operating with CBDC instead of fiat currency. And my prophecy as a professor, I repeat my prophecy as a professor, that in course of time, private cryptocurrencies will not be allowed to dominate the world. It will continue to remain as another unique digital asset for investment. But definitely transactions in course of time by 2030, most of the transactions will be done by central bank digital currency, and the system will be very simple. And let me tell you, it will be very money efficient, cost efficient, and speedy. This is what France has done. Bank of France has started working with the Swiss bank for CBDC. Switzerland has already approved cryptocurrency applications. This is a very unique solution developed by a company in Japan. You get a lot of points against your purchase. You get gift cards, but you lose. Many a times you do not encash. So all the business organizations who provides gift cards or credit points to their customers, this can be administered through a blockchain solution, and you can track whatever you got and whatever you used. MasterCard has already started working on the CBDC area. This is an application being developed by Russia for conducting voting by blockchain technology. And beauty of, if you can do this blockchain conversion of the voting, in that case, your parliament member will be able to talk to you through this blockchain very confidentially. If he wants to move a motion, or if he wants to do something in the parliament on behalf of his constituency, he can discuss very confidentially with the voters of his constituency. So this is not only a voting machine, but this is also a transparent yet safe system for exchanging ideas. Today, there are a lot of privacy happening in the area of intellectual properties for films, for songs, musics are being copied. Blockchain technology can protect. You cannot download anything and everything without making payment. Or if you can download, you cannot save. So blockchain technology can allow or help you to do your IPR management, intellectual property right management, very well. An Indian company, which is Wipro, has developed already a solution for central bank digital currency of Thailand. Stock Exchange of London, Switzerland, and Gibraltar, they have, in fact, London Stock Exchange has already, with the help of a startup, developed a prototype for running stock exchange using blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is very, very interesting, very, very interesting. I can keep on giving such applications, but let me stop here and take you to the world view of blockchain. What is the world? I'll take another 10 minutes to finish my presentation. Then I'll take questions. Blockchain technology is not a disruptive technology. It is a foundational innovation. It has the prospects to create new foundation for your society and for your economic structure of any country. One of the most respected commentator on digital technologies and computer, Gartner, said that by 2025, total value addition, I'm talking about cost saving by blockchain technology, will be 176 billion. And by 2030, about the total cost saving or value addition by blockchain technology will be $1 trillion, US trillion dollar. Sorry, 3.1 US trillion dollar. That will be cost saving. And in 2000, and there is one of the economic forums, most probably in 2018, there was a report from a Big Four firm. It said that by 2027, 10% of the world GDP will be transacted through blockchain technology. By 2030, the predicted world GDP is 110 trillion. So roughly about $11 trillion, US dollar, 11 trillion will be transacted through blockchain technology. This is a very recent statistics from Statista. And you can see that maximum money is being spent for developing digital currency. Then next is 32% is data access. Data reconciliation is 31%. Identity protection is 31%. Payment system 30%. Track and trace 27%. In that way, in a survey of 1,448 people has named so many applications where people are working or enterprises are working for applying blockchain technology. No wonder it is being said that by 2027, 10% of the world GDP will be in blockchain platforms. Amount spent, again, those 1448 organizations were asked how much you are spending. 12% of them spending more than 10 million. 5 to 10 million is 24%. 1 to 5 million is 30%, and so on. That means people have started investing money for developing blockchain platform. This is the trust factor of blockchain. So you can always read about it whenever you get time. Blockchain technology adoption and challenges. Let me tell you, Ernst & Young has given you a very simple theory. You see whether there are 5 criteria, whether those 5 criteria are being satisfied. Are there multiple parties in your ecosystem? Answer is yes. Is establishing trust between all parties, even in an NGO system, it has to be done. Is it critical to have a detailed transactional record? Answer is yes, you have to keep record of your transaction. Are we securing the ownership of or management of finite source? That means no double counting. The answer is yes, you need to do that. Does network of partners benefit from increased transparency across the ecosystem? Answer is yes. So Ernst & Young says that out of 5 criteria, even 3 criteria, 3 items are satisfied. Blockchain is the solution for you. And McKinsey has handled certain myth between what is popular public beliefs versus what is blockchain reality. If one reads this, I have given the links for this. One reads this, one will find that certain myths which are existing in people's mind today, it is definitely going to be proved that what blockchain is claiming as a technology will be able to satisfy people. It is no longer a myth. This is OECD solution for developing blockchain. Blockchain says, OECD says, that is Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, says that good governance, efficiency, and effectiveness should be the 3 pillars of developing any solution for digital technology. When good governance and efficiency will meet each other, you'll get reliability, participation, citizens-driven, and public value. When efficiency and effectiveness will meet, you will get empowerment, that is, people will use it, evidence, demand management, and personalization. When effectiveness and good governance will meet each other, you'll get openness, transparency, accountability, and autonomy. What more do you want? If these 12 qualities you can satisfy through a digital solution, sitting on the pillar of governance, efficiency, effectiveness, what more do you want? Of course, blockchain technology has a biggest challenge, and the challenge is blockchain specialist and scalability. Criminal connections are definitely reducing day by day. Inefficiency or technology are being reduced day by day, but availability of manpower is a very important challenge of blockchain technology being successful. So these are the challenges. Uncleared fragmented regulations. This is also being solved by a lot of organized countries passing regulations about blockchain. In fact, India has very recently announced another paper on blockchain technology policy. Privacy security has already been solved. So most of the challenges are being made, but skill set, this challenge is a very important factor, and this challenge slow but steadily is improving. Let me tell you, blockchain solution are such that you cannot adopt any bypass solution like this. You have to go through step by step, and you have to ensure that whatever you have to do, you have to do. You cannot bypass anything. And right to forget, which is an important element of your GDPR rule in European Union, blockchain technology is also taking care of that. Carbon footprint, this is a criticism against blockchain technology. Honestly speaking, I personally feel that when blockchain will be used for commercial purpose, carbon footprint will reduce, because for any transaction, you go to several lawyers, you do several mailing, you do everything and anything and everything for with so many parties. Here, you will announce the transaction once for all, and all the parties in the system will be able to know about it. Only thing is that you need a bit of storage. But with 5G computer, 5G technology and huge storage system, blockchain technology will definitely be a very big success in the world. And it will never develop any bypass solution like this. So what are the governance which you need? You need you minimize the issue of trust crisis. It will be immutable. It will be fungible of virtual currency. There will be finality for everything because there is a smart contract. There will be no censorship, no resistance, no selectivity. If you satisfy the KYP, you are a party to the transaction. No permission is required. Every transaction is reconcilable because every participant has a data in his own node. Auditing of transaction can be done online. List of the authority of the platform developers had no role to play, no role to interfere into your system. And through smart contract, everything is being adhered to. I'm sure, Dr. Turner, you'll be sharing my presentation with your students or the participants, or these are available so that they can read at their leisure. So I'll skip this because I'll be speaking about this. This is almost the same thing. This data is more current. 2020, 1,488 people were surveyed, and 2018, 1,053 people were surveyed. And it is seeing that out of 1,488 people and surveyed by Deloitte University, 55% are saying that it is critical and strategic. Blockchain technology is critical. Blockchain technology is important for 27% people. So if you add 55, 27, 82% saying that it is critical or important, and 14% are saying relevant. So for 96% people, blockchain technology is relevant today. Scalability, 88% feels that it is possible. Business case, 86% people says that it can take care of business case. Plan to replace, 85% people says if their other stakeholders have a plan to replace, adopt blockchain technology, they have to adopt blockchain technology. And see, every time these yes sayers numbers are increasing. Here, this number has moved to yes now. So every time the success criteria or confidence level of people, competitive advantage loss, 83% says that if I do not adopt blockchain technology, my competitive advantage will be lost. So blockchain technology is being seen by people as the future of the world in terms of doing business in a right way. This is another is a test report. Anybody wants to check whether blockchain is the right solution for him or her business, including a social entrepreneur, he can test it. I am not going to explain you this. You can see it from my paper whenever you read it. Blockchain technology are available as this code of blockchain is available from open sources, from permission sources also. All of you know that most of these sources are permissioned or hybrid solution, that some part of it is permission, some part of it is not. I'll take 2 minutes more to close my discussion. This is what I talked in Moscow, the World Blockchain Summit in Moscow. So I want to share with this. This is my most favorite area of any technology talk which I do. Human rights, United Nations took 1948, the resolution for ensuring human right. These are the 5 articles which are very important critical articles that about dignity of rights, right to life, right to liberty and security, protection against arbitrary interference with his privacy, social and international order, limitations as are determined by the law only, otherwise there will be no limitation. So if you go to blockchain technology, ethics item in terms of people, human rights, in artificial intelligence applications, sometimes human rights are interfered into. I have written about all this in my articles. Of course, those are reducing day by day. But blockchain is one technology which is not interfering into the right. Whatever frauds you have heard about blockchain technology, those are not frauds done because of blockchain as a technology failure, but those are because of the fraud done by operators who run the blockchain exchanges for cryptocurrency providers. So this is a very important point. Technology doesn't have morality, emotion, ethics, and value generation skill of its own. Technology doesn't have morality, emotion, ethics, and value generation skill of its own. Success of digital transformation will depend upon those human qualities, that is morality, emotion, and ethics of the people who builds the solution. So it is not technology who is responsible for ensuring morality, emotion, and ethics. It is the people who build the solution. Success of technology depends upon shared values. Blockchain technology will add value addition and it will share the value. Global regulatory bodies have to bring in. Humanity is one and the world is its home. Hence the need of global regulatory body. Regulators must have more insight to control through oversight. Regulators should not directly control, they should control through oversight. And for that, they should have insight of the technology. You don't know what happened in America when blockchain came first. Some other day, I'll talk to you about this. Customers must have their self-initiated option with executable contract. So these are the human dimensions of blockchain technology. In Moscow, I introduced this particular slide. Technology doesn't have morality, as I have already said. So success of blockchain technology will depend upon 7 T's according to me: technology, talent, truth, trust, transparency, tenacity, and timeline. 7 T's according to me are technology, talent, truth, trust, transparency, tenacity, and timeline. And what are the 7 P's of success in blockchain? People, patience, passion, perseverance, piety, purity, and penance. If you have 7 T's, if you have 7 P's, blockchain is a success for you. So blockchain will be attaining the darling of the mass status. I repeat, blockchain will attain the darling of the mass status like internet if it is adopted and applied with mindset of universal altruism. That means everybody should benefit from my system. It should be grounded on the humane foundation of sustainable shared values. And blockchain technology should not be a technology tribe. They should be a harbinger. They should be harbingers of developing shared value system for inclusive happiness. And I use the word inclusive smile. Your technology should bring smile to everybody across the society. So blockchain will definitely break sovereign boundaries because smart contracts will take care of everything which you need to abide by. Blockchain of things, it is not part of this today's talks. It is actually Internet of Things, blockchain control, which I've discussed a bit, where IoT is used by patients or farmers will be controlled by a blockchain. This is this slide introducing. And convergence to industry 5.0. This I can discuss on some other day. It says that if industry 5.0 comes, which will be developed on the basis of kitchen technology, blockchain will be able to satisfy that. And this is my last but one slide. You must have seen the 10 Commandments film, very good old golden film. There are 10 commandments. This is Paritosh Basu's 10 commandments. For any digital solution, what are those? Humanity first, redistribute power, reduce complexities, reimagine consumption, go for creative destruction, manage climate emergency, be accountable without discrimination, fix imbalance of humanity and technology, enhance technology with universal altruism, and let imagination, safety, and ethics lead transformation. According to me, if any country, any organization, any solution builder, any startup, any innovator follows these 10 commandments, success is sure for him or her. Don't challenge your limits. Limit your challenges only. That's the job you will do using blockchain. I repeat, don't challenge your limits, limit your challenges. Any Indian, particularly a Bengali, will definitely quote Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel laureate literate, Nobel laureate literature guru. He says, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awake and saw that life was service. I acted and behold that life and service was joy. So when you say that life is joy, Gurudev said, no, life is not joy. He saw that life was for service. And finally, when he started giving service, he found that actually giving service is the joy. And that is the keynote of success for any social entrepreneur. So when we give selfless service, we get the ultimate joy, which cannot be measured in terms of money. So we should promise that blockchain technology will find giving service a joy. This is one of our past ex-presidents said, a vision is not a project report. A vision is not a project report or a plan target. It is an articulation of a desired end result in broader terms. A vision is not a project report or a plan target. It is an articulation of a desired end result in broader terms. Here I end and thank you. I'll stop sharing and any question, it will be my pleasure to answer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basu. Can you help me a little bit understand this perspective of social entrepreneurship? If we have a small farmer or communities with little resources, how are they connected to technology? My stereotype is they won't have a computer or anything like that. How would that work?
Okay. One point one has to remember that for social entrepreneurship, the user of the technological solutions will be done by people who are essentially not very much trained and who may not be having a smartphone. So blockchain technology front end can be developed with vernaculars, like many other technology solutions are now available not only in English, but also in local language. So language is not an issue. The second issue is with an analog phone, the front end, that the user part of it cannot be done. So you have to definitely provide a smartphone which can hold and allow the blockchain transactions to be operated by those people. And the third keynote of success would be the success of training. As you have seen, the solution which I have ideated for farmer, in India, most of the farmers are not savvy that way in terms of technology, but solutions of front end are developed in such a manner that it is not only in vernacular, but also at every point of transactional position, the technology prompts him what he or she has to do, or technology prompts him what are the options available for you, or technology at times give him a sound bite that suppose he cannot read a smart contract, the smart contract can be read out to him. So even a blind person can operate a kind of front end. So if you are dealing with people where a big portion of the front end user or the ultimate user end is non-technology, non-English knowing persons, as long as you can give them a smartphone, or they can buy a smartphone because the technology in course of time will help, or you can help them to buy a smartphone and subsequently pay you back. Rest of the things can be taken care of. There should not be any level of anxiety. Let me tell you, in India did not even imagine that digital payment system will replace the smart debit cards and credit cards. Even today, drivers, house helping hands, small technical staff, any person is using our UPI, Unified Payment Interface, our digital payment solutions. So if we make people aware, if we make the system solution oriented and training oriented, Dr. Turner, I personally feel it should not be an anxiety. It is surmountable.
Thank you. There's a question from Professor Ray in the chat. Can you see that, or should Professor Ray?
Yes, I can see. Dr. Rai is asking, thank you very much, in any case, what skills do students at this stage of blockchain development need to focus on to be well prepared for a blockchain future? Where should they focus their energies? Should they concentrate on gaining technical skill? My answer is 2-point answer. Point one, the students have to find out their interest either in developing solution by writing the codes, or students must understand the business requirements, people's requirements, user requirements, data flow, transaction flow, and with data flow and transaction flow, document flow, the regulatory requirements. For suppose you are doing a farmer blockchain, the regulatory requirements are using pesticides, then the governments, you follow government's policies and directives. So wherever students find the requirements to be fulfilled by the various partners or participants in the system, they should get into that area, which we call in technical language business requirements. That means in order to run a particular platform, what you should do in terms of business, how the information will flow, how the data will flow, how the transaction will flow, what will be the sequence. That is one group. And the other group is technology solution builders, who are actual coders. So these are two distinguished areas. In the area of first one, that is the business requirement, we need quite a bit of legal professionals for developing the smart contract. That is one of the most difficult jobs. Rest of the things our students study in their computerization class or in their digital solution building class. Students study AI. So whatever IT solution oriented papers they study, if they are given a 6 months training on blockchain solution building, which I have to tell my coder that this is you have to write in terms of code, this should be my input and this is what you should give my as the output. I think students should concentrate in understanding the business part of it, the transaction part of it, the documentation part of it, the law part of it. And another group of students who are really interested to develop the codes, develop the test the codes and find the veracity of the solution with mock transaction. That is another group of people. I hope Professor Rai, I could satisfy you. Any other question? Yes, Professor Roy, your comments.
No, thank you very much for that explanation. I think it's certainly at this stage of development, it's interesting to see when you project into the future of how blockchain technology will touch then every sector of the business that you've mentioned. And it's very early stage. So we're looking ahead at how this will be implemented. And it reminds me of when I was studying at that point, the internet was something new. And if the question had then been put to me, okay, what skills do we need to gain now in order to be prepared for an internet-based future? That's why I'm facing the question now, okay, the next step is the blockchain technology. So similarly, what skills should students be looking at now to think, okay, this is coming, it's not there yet, but it's coming. So what do I need to be prepared on or with? Thank you.
Professor Roy, internet has become the darling of the mass. Anybody and everybody at the remotest village level is using internet in India today. Okay, and I'm sure blockchain also will attain the darling of the mass status by 2030. That is my prediction.
And by 2030, so in 10 years,
yes,
or 9 from now. I see.
I'm sure, because CBDC is a reality. Once CBDC comes, people will understand what is blockchain technology. Because in order to main blockchain platforms to be a success, you need introduction of digital currency. And I have a paper, if you read it, it is there in my LinkedIn. Almost all the countries of the world are working on introducing central bank digital currency, including certain countries of the Africa. Certain small countries of Europe has already introduced this technology, CBDC. China is doing on 4 types of currency. One is for interbank, one is for people, one is for international transaction, and one is for central bank versus bank transaction. 4 types of money are there, 4 types of transaction. In fact, UK is developing a system by which that currency will be medium of buying things. Like today, you can pay for your dosa or your sandwich by Bitcoin. Tomorrow, you will be paying by CBDC, UK digital currency or pound sterling digital currency while you buy your McDonald's items. So that's not very far, according to me. Any other question? I don't see anything in the chat box. I don't know whether it is my talk is so bad that there is no question, or the talk could do something justice for the first time. But Dr. Turner, let me give you a point. Generally, when I talk to students of my own school, the technology professors for this lecture calls me as their own guest lecturer from within this school resources. And I take 3 hours to introduce the subject. 90 minutes is a little short in time for introducing a subject, but nonetheless, I tried what I could do.
Yes. So also from my side, are there any other questions? So please take the opportunity now. If that's not the case, I think...
Dr. Turner, may I announce one thing?
Please.
I have about 16,600 plus connections in LinkedIn. I repeat the number, 16,600 and 1,350 connections. So anybody and everybody can ask me any question via LinkedIn, or anybody wants to know my mail ID, you can share with that person, and I will be happy to answer questions through various question and answer mode through any media, maybe Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, or maybe mails.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. So there's one technical question.
Yes.
You see it in the chat?
One technical question, I didn't understand why in private blockchains there are no miners needed. Let me tell you, suppose you are doing a blockchain transaction in my ideated Kishan Blockchain platform, and a farmer is announcing that I want to buy a tractor. Now, there will be an agreement between the farmer, the tractor vendor, and the bank that you three will be in this transaction. The tractor vendor will provide the tractor to the farmer. Farmer will be paid directly by the banker, and the banker will call this payment as a loan given to the farmer. Now, this is a three-way transaction, and only three people have to approve the transaction. Now, when the payment time comes, the central bank, the bank who is participating in the system, he will be having a CBDC, central bank digital currency. Today, he can do by fiat currency, then the payment part has to be taken out of the blockchain. So he pays to the farmer, pays to the vendor, and farmer comes to know that payment for the tractor has been made on behalf of me, and my loan amount has increased. Now comes the selling of the harvest. The farmer announces that I want to sell this item and my minimum price is say $2 per kilogram. There is a customer who says I want to pay $1.9. The customer gives a counter offer, and the farmer now agrees $1.9. And the customer says I want to buy 1 metric ton. The farmer says, yes, I'm ready with 1 metric ton stores. Here again, the bank will be a party, because the bank will be asking the farmer that your payment will not be received directly by you to your bank account. Your payment will come to my NeemFast, which I will deposit to your loan account as a collection against the loan given to you. So here again is a tripartite transaction, not the soil scientist, not the government, not the drone service provider. Nobody need to have approval, or not many people need to give approval. Only the parties who are writing a legally enforceable contract, they have to write that contract. And when the money comes to the farmer's account, the loan diminishes. In this way, when the harvest of the farmer is sold entirely, some money will be surplus in the farmer's account, and bank will close the payment by giving the surplus money to the bank. The loan account will be closed. Suppose the loan has been extended by government, not the bank, then there will be a 4-party agreement. The government, the bank will be the administrator of the payment and receipts, the farmer and the service, or the buyer of the product, or the seller of the equipment. In a cryptocurrency, the idea is different. In a cryptocurrency, the miners approve the transaction, and certain given number of miners are supposed to approve the transaction for the transaction to go and become completed transaction. So in anything and everything being done in a cryptocurrency blockchain platform, the miners are given, and the miners, what is the revenue model of the miners? They get newly issued Bitcoin or newly issued cryptocurrency. For every transaction they approve, they get some money. So that is one money, that is commission. And or if it is felt that some new Bitcoin has to be introduced out of the reserve, another set of miners does that job. That's a different thing I don't want to get into. So the difference between a mining application versus an enterprise platform is that enterprise platform is something like a normal commercial transaction, which so long you are doing out of the system by writing physical contracts. In an enterprise blockchain platform, you no longer write the physical contract, but you write a digital contract, which is already embedded in the system. You just sign by taking the options if options are available. And the approvers of there is a proposer, there is an acceptor. Once the proposer and acceptor does it, the transaction is sealed, legally enforceable transaction. If there is more than one party, all the other parties also to be a party to this transaction, and this is the tripartite or 4-party transaction. So there is no question of any miner coming in. So far as the payment and receipt transactions are concerned, like you used to operate your bank, in my idea, it will be central bank digital currency, for which a bank will be processing central bank digital currency accounts. All the accounts of the farmer, the customer, the vendor, all will be transacted digitally, not fiat currency. If it is to be fiat currency, it has to be taken out of blockchain platform. Hope I could answer, or if you have any question in addition to what you have asked, you can ask.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you so much.
Okay, last chance. Thank you, Herr Gilrath, for taking the previous last chance. Okay, you heard Dr. Basu's offer that you could reach out to him afterwards. Thank you very much for sharing your insights today and giving a very upbeat, positive outlook on the application and development of blockchain. We will keep that in mind and observe what's happening. Thank you very much. I hope we will continue.
Dr. Turner, there is a point which I could not read in Germany. So if you can translate it for me.
Where is
WIR Treffen UNS.
Okay, that was for his students. That was, sorry, our media professor from the head of our media school. He's communicating with his students. So no, the first sentence was to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I hope I could do justice to the time you have invested by being with me for so many minutes and 1 hour, almost 2 hours.
Okay. Thank you. Hopefully also from the students. So if you can show a little clapping, that would be nice. And otherwise, bye-bye, and we'll hear again from you. Or the thank yous are coming through the chat.
Thank you for the opportunity I got. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.